When?
We're here with another installment to answer your questions to help you grow your law firm. And the next question that came in, and this lawyer did give me permission to use his name. His name is Scott Peterson. Scott, this is for you. And he writes, I am stuck. I'm a solo lawyer with no staff. I currently share office space with another lawyer, but there's no room for staff. I know I have to move to bigger space, but it's going to be a lot of money to rent a bigger space by myself, and then more money to hire an assistant or paralegal. It just seems so daunting to fork out all that money when I'm doing pretty well as is. My question is, when did you take that step, and how do you know it's time to take the step to grow your space and to hire staff and all that? You get the idea? So first, quick introductions. Start with you, Donna.
Donna Terrell from North Carolina.
And your firm started off where? Your first meeting, you didn't have gas money to
I
get
didn't
home.
have gas money
Yeah,
to
tell
get
that
home.
story quick.
I was in a place that I knew that I was either going to have to close the doors or make a dramatic change. I paid my Discovery Day fee. I drove from North Carolina to Chicago because I couldn't afford to fly, and once I got there, I had to wait for my husband to put gas money into my account so I could buy gas to drive back home. And that's when I joined How to Manage a Small Law Firm.
Law firm revenues at that time?
I was on track for about $100,000.
And you had been practicing law for how many years by that point?
Oh my goodness, it was
How long? Many years.
28 years.
I mean, you
Yes.
were, and still are, but you were at the time an excellent lawyer. I mean, you were an outstanding lawyer at
Yes.
the time, right?
Yes.
You just didn't know anything
Yes.
about running the business.
Not a thing.
All right, and that was how many years ago?
That was in 2014, July. Almost 4
15,
years.
16, 17. It'll be 4 years
Yes.
this coming July.
Yes.
And revenues this year are tracking too?
About 220 at the moment.
All right, so more than double.
Yes, yes.
And how is your life different between now and then?
Oh my God. I think I've said this before. My husband actually likes me. He gets to see me once in a while. I think one of the things that people say to me is, I look different. You know I look different.
You do look different.
I look like I've had work done. My life is better because I have more time to focus on me. Now that's not to say that I'm not working my ass off, because that's part of what we do. But my focus is completely different. Instead of chasing a dollar, it's creating a business and building a life.
And without getting into any personal stuff, you've had some challenges between then and now.
Absolutely.
That you're some pretty significant challenges that would have
Yes.
put most people on the map. And
Yeah.
and through it all, your business still doubled.
Yes. Yes.
That's significant.
Yes.
That's very significant. That's
Yes.
part of the financial success, personal success, and professional success. Financially, it's only doubled, but
Yes.
personally and professionally, it's like
astronomical. It's the
Astronomically
only word
better.
you can use.
yeah. All right. Ann.
Hi, I'm Ann. My name is David Hall. My wife Ann is our principal attorney and founding lawyer. I'm with Hall Benefits Law here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I serve as the firm manager.
And the firm, where was the firm when we all hooked up together?
We were probably, I don't know exact numbers, Arjon, but probably around the 250 mark.
And now?
We're having months where we would be doing a run rate of about 1.8.
So you're on a
probably do 1.2 this year.
So you're having six-figure months fairly
Yes.
regularly now.
Yes.
All right. Stephen.
Oh, yes. So my name's Steven Schreiber. I run Schreiber Law Group. We're in Marietta, Georgia, so we're in the suburbs of Atlanta.
All right. And how did we meet?
Oh yeah. I think I met at a reception actually in Atlanta probably about a couple of years
With
ago.
a mixer or something?
Yeah,
Meet up?
yeah.
Okay. And revenues then, revenues now?
I think right before I joined, revenues were about 135, I think, that year. And then,
Okay.
oh yeah. So and now we're the next year after the first full year we did 200, and now we're probably on track to close to 400. We did about 200 already this year.
All right.
so.
Quality of life?
Better. We have better problems, as I'd say. So, we have a better plan. At least I know how to fix what's going on in advance.
I love that. We have better problems. All right,
Yes.
So here's the question. I'll leave it to you to read. It's number 3.
Yes.
Just read it and
Yeah.
your best answer, please.
Oh yeah, so I'm stuck. I'm a solo with no staff. I currently share office space with another lawyer, but there is no room for staff. I know I have to move to a bigger space, but it's going to be a lot of money to rent a bigger space by myself, and then more money to hire an assistant or paralegal. It just seems so daunting to fork out all that money, real lot of money, when I'm doing pretty well as is. My question is, when did you take that step, and how do you know it's time? So, I guess from our end, it's already time. So, Scott, I hate to break it to you, it's time to put together a better. So, I would say you can address a lot of these issues with a good plan. So, figure out exactly what you need to make this office change, how much it's going to cost to move to a new building, what the rent will be, how much what your compensation structure for this new person will be, and budget for it. So this is not going to be an impossible issue if you. I'm a fast talker, but you break this down into bite-sized pieces and then actually do it, and make sure someone's on your ass to actually make sure you do it. You can get this done in way faster than what you're imagining or probably you're actually doing, which is not that much, which is fine, but you can do a lot. You can do a lot really quickly.
Right?
Yeah, I love that answer about bite-sized pieces. I think I got the question pretty much down. Having somebody on your ass to make sure you're doing the steps as a business owner to make successful, not just make successful decisions, but just to make decisions. I mean, I think the issue you're having, Scott, is you're scared to make a decision. And if you don't make a decision, you're not going to grow. If you don't grow, you're not going to achieve your personal and professional goals. So when we leased our office space 2 years ago, we leased about 1,500 square feet. We've got over 3,000 square feet now. We never could have grown our business. We never would have hired staff and other personnel, other attorneys, if we hadn't taken that initial step. So I would say get out of your comfort zone, make the decision. Once you make the decision, you will find ways to make the money to pay for the decision you've made, and your firm will grow.
So how does he know when it's time?
You've got to decide what you want, right? And if you're not where you want to be, it's time to make a decision.
All right, that's simple. Donna.
Okay, Scott, I noticed just a few things, and I would just want to preface this by saying I'm a small solo law firm owner, and I'm the last person to pass judgment on anything that you've asked here. One of the first things that you're saying about moving into different space is you need to hire an assistant. So apparently you wouldn't need to move out of your space at all if you hadn't already decided to hire your assistant. That tells you it's time. What you haven't done yet is you haven't committed to hiring an assistant. And you talk about it's going to take a lot of money. Well, have you sat down and as we say in the country, penciled it out? How much money is it going to cost? You need to have dollars and cents. How many more cases do you have to bring in order to pay for that assistant?
Yes.
How many more, or how much more profit are you going to have to make off of that assistant to justify hiring the assistant? And one of the things that you can't do is go to the bank with a check that says a lot of money and expect any kind of transaction to take place. So you've got to be talking about real dollars when you're doing that. If you're going to hire an assistant, which you've already sort of decided to do, you're obviously going to have more space. So either you're going to hire your assistant, which means you're moving, or you're not going to hire your assistant and you're going to stand here and keep going over and over and over, a lot of money, and I need more staff and I'm stuck. So you have to take action. That's the next place that you are after you've made a decision and you've made a commitment. You've got to take action. And once you sit down and you pencil it out, you'll figure out how to get it done. But you've got to talk about real live numbers.
Do you have a business plan?
I have a business plan.
Do you have a business plan?
Yes.
Do you have a business plan?
Yes.
Did you have a business plan before you started your law firm?
Absolutely not. I didn't have a business plan until July 14 when I came to the business plan workshop.
Did you have a business plan before you started your firm?
Ann Tyler did not have a real business plan before she started the firm. No.
Did you have a business
Oh
plan?
no, God no.
Do you have a budget with cash flow projections?
I have cash flow projections. I have a budget. Yes, I do.
Do you have a budget with cash flow projections?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you before?
No.
Did you before?
Absolutely not.
Is life better with a business plan and a budget?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Is it rocket science?
No.
Obviously not.
Is it anything that they taught us anything in law school though?
No.
No.
It's just law firm management is simple, Scott. It's running a law firm. It's a very simple business. It just requires you to learn things and do things that they didn't teach you in law school. What you heard is the tone of them calling us back into session. So I hope that helps you, Scott. Keep your questions coming. We'll be here for
2 more days.
2 more days. All right?